Let's work a little bit with variables in XSL. To do that, I'm going to create a couple of new files. I'll create an XML file, and it won't have a whole lot in it. No schema, just a root element and a child. And I actually don't really even need anything at the moment, but we want to have some kind of XML file to transform so that we can run our transform. And I'll save this guy in my usual temp directory. Let's see. And let's call them temp XML. These are really kind of throwaway files. You won't need to have this file or anything. Okay, let me create a new XSL. And this is a little bit of a review. I'm going to put in that root template. That gives us a starting place. Okay, now we have a kind of a sketchpad to play around with. Oh, let me save this. Save it as temp XSL. There, now we have a sketchpad to play around. Okay, so I'm going to define a variable. Oops, not value of, but variable. Okay, I'm going to name it var. How about that's a nice, easy name. And I'm going to select into it a string. Okay, there we go. So now I've selected into that variable a string. Now I can get that back out with an XSL value of. And now to name the variable, I use the $sign. And notice that the variable pops up, and now I'll have the $sign. So this is a very simple transform. All it does is create a variable called var, and then put the value of that variable into the output. I'm going to go over to temp XSL. I'm going to define a new transformation scenario for temp XSL for temp XML using temp XSL. There it is. I want to put the output in the editor so that it's easy to see. Otherwise, it comes up in the bottom there. It'll also come up in the bottom there, which I wish I knew how to suppress, but I don't. And now I'll do my transformation. And there we go. The only thing that I put in the output, in addition to this little XML processing statement up here, whoops, is that one thing, string in the variable. Okay, so that's example one of getting a variable and just putting a string in it. Now let's put an XPath in here. Let me go back into temp XML. In my child, I want to put I am in the child. Okay, so there we go. Now I have something in the child element, and now I'm going to go back over to temp XSL, and instead of getting the value out of putting the value in a string, I'm going to go whack whack child. Oops. And now I'm going to get the value out of that child node. Save this guy, go back over here, run the transform again. And now I get the string that was in I'm in the child. Okay, so there you go. A couple of quick examples about how to use variables. Now, one other thing I should at least show you is that if instead of just a select statement, I have some really fancy stuff in here, I can do whatever I want inside the variable. Like I can have an XSL choose with all sorts of stuff in it, and whatever comes out, whatever is the text output of all of this, is going to be in the variable. Okay, so I'm only showing you the simple stuff, or we're only working with the simple stuff in variables. You can do a whole lot more complex stuff in the variable. So let me put that back to where it was, because we're going to need that in a minute. Okay.